What is up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 3 pieces of equipment that will make you more money in your pressure washing business. I'm joined with a special guest. I got Mike Bedan here with me from All About Pressure Washing. Mike, how's it going, man?
It is good, brother. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure. But before we get into today's video, I want to tell you about a new hose that our friends at Dirt Killer have recently released. They come in 50 and 100-foot increments with a quality 3/8 interior for better water flow. Both sides of the hose are equipped with carbon steel swivels. These hoses have been field tested and created by pressure washers for pressure washers. And Dirt Killer is giving all the people who watch this video 15% off of the 100-foot hose whenever you enter the coupon code Forever15 at checkout. So if you're interested, check out the first link in the comment section and the description and enter code Forever15 if you want to get 15% off a 100-foot hose. Now, these aren't the cheapest hoses in the industry. You can definitely find cheaper on Amazon, but they probably are the best quality and the most long lasting. Mike's actually been field testing these for about 3 months, so we're going to get his opinion on them here in just a second. But actually, hoses are our #1 piece of equipment that are going to be able to get you more money in your pressure washing business. And the reason that I mention that is because whenever I first started my pressure washing business, I was hauling not only the hoses around, but also the pressure washer. And once I started working with companies who had their pressure washers on a truck or on a trailer, it was just a game changer for me. They were able to move around the house so much faster than I could. They were able to just be more agile and be quicker with things and move from section to section because they had so many feet of hose that they weren't having to haul around the pressure washer as well. So Mike, talk to us a little bit about what you look for in a good hose, as well as how those Dirt Killer hoses have been running for you.
Yeah, man. So like you said, we've been running these things for like 3 months and they perform great. A hose is a hose, you might think, but at the end of the day, it really does matter what you're working with. They don't mark up the concrete, which is important. They feel lighter weight, so that means you're not busting your back all day pulling on hoses. They have those swivels like you talked about, which increases the mobility of the hose when you've got multiple connections, which helps with your hose management. As far as the water flow, I think that 3/8 is somewhat accurate in their assessment that they're claiming that you get more flow. We have noticed a little bit difference when we're doing our surface cleaning, waiting on the tanks to fill up. So I think there may be some credence to that. But like I said before, it's a good hose. It has held up. We're not having any exposed wires or anything, and we put these things through a pretty tough day's work. So so far so good, and the quality's good. I like them. So yeah, a good hose.
Awesome. So Mike, like one of the things that I learned about hoses is there's single wire and double wire. So how many feet of hose do you run, and would you recommend single or double wire for anybody who's looking to get like more hose?
You have single wire, you got double wire. Obviously a double wire is going to be more durable, and maybe if you've got higher GPM machines, 8-10 gallons per minute, that added strength is going to be more beneficial. With the double wire, there is a little bit more weight, obviously. We always use 2-wire just because the last thing I want to do is blow hoses, because when you're blowing hoses, you're taking downtime, you're replacing hoses, and that's not where we want to be. So, I can really only speak to double wire, which is what we've been using, and that's why I got the ones from Dirt Killer that are the double wire.
Okay, beautiful, man. So yeah, that's going to kind of conclude, why hoses are so important, mostly for the mobility, mostly for how much quicker you can get jobs done as opposed to somebody who's hauling around a pressure washer. That's like a huge first step, is getting that machine either on the truck or on the trailer, so that way you're not even having to mess with it. You crank it, you run the house, you roll up all the hose, and then you roll out. Because I know for me, that was one of the biggest things, the setup and breakdown of trying to take out the washer, roll it around. It was just took so long. Having sufficient hoses to run that is much better. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is a metering valve. Mike, you know way more about metering valves than I do. So can you speak to why it's important and why it's going to make you more money in your pressure washing business?
All right, man. So when we talk about soft washing, there are a few different systems out there. You've got gas, you've got air diaphragm, you've got 12 volts, and they all have their pros and their cons, and ultimately they all achieve the end result. We're not going to get into that debate here, but we are going to talk about the different ways that we apply the detergent when we're soft washing. The first is batch mixing, and that is when you mix your solution in one container to your specified ratio you need for that specific job. There's nothing crazy here, just some simple math, and if you know what percentage you want to spray, you can calculate that out and get your mix. The downside is you now have a specific mix in a tank that might not be what you need for the next job. Say you're doing a roof wash first, the next wash is going to be just a house. now you have to recalculate, recalibrate, and come up with a new mix. So that's one of the downsides. Okay, so batch mixing is good and it's easy, but there are a lot of cons to it as well, like we just mentioned. But if you really want to make things easier and quicker, it's time to get a blend manifold or a metering system. In my opinion, these are the most effective and efficient methods to use when you're mixing chemicals when you're soft washing. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet because there's really not a whole lot to this. Simply put, a metering system uses 3 valves that control the flow of chemical, water, and surfactant from your tanks to your pump and ultimately out the end of your gun. Basically what happens is you've got a valve for your chemical, one for your water, and one for your soap, and you make adjustments on these valves based on the ratio you need for that job. And having a good ratio chart helps. I will say that metering systems are going to save you money and time because you're not wasting SH or surfactants unnecessarily when you're batch mixing. So that is why I love using metering valves when we're out there soft washing.
Okay, beautiful. And so for anybody who's curious where to get a metering valve, the second link in the comment section description is going to be a link to equipment that we recommend you guys check out. Got metering valves, got service cleaners, ball valves. It's got everything in there. So if you need equipment and you're not sure what to get, definitely check that out. Now for the third piece of equipment that can make you more money in your pressure washing business, we could have gone a bunch of different ways with this. We could talk about J-rods, service cleaners, just a whole host of things, X-jets. But for this one, let's talk about ball valves, Mike, and how a ball valve can really save you time and make you more money ultimately.
Yeah, man. So a ball valve is something that should be in every single person's toolbox. And the simple reason for that is when you're out there washing, you don't want to have to keep running back to your machine to cut it on and off when you're switching in between your surface cleaner and your pressure washing gun, right? So having a ball valve, all it does is it completely eliminates all that back and forth. You take your ball valve, turn it off, pop it off, click it onto your surface cleaner, and you're ready to go, and vice versa. When you're done surface cleaning and you're ready to start rinsing, you can either use your ball valve. A lot of guys love to use a ball valve for rinsing, and they use it for rinsing both houses and concrete because it's such a high volume. You can tweak that handle just enough to where it does cut down on the flow, which makes it a high pressure rinse, which is pretty beneficial when you're out there cleaning a lot of dirt off of concrete or the side of a house. And that is why you should have a ball valve on the end of your hose, because it's going to save you a bunch of time throughout the day, not having to run back and forth. It makes the changes between your various tools super fast, efficient, and time is money. So
absolutely. And then not only to mention this as well, if you have to run back to the truck, you can always unhook the gun from the ball valve, open up the ball valve so that way the pressure washer can release the pressure and you don't have a buildup of pressure. Anyway, ball valves are multifaceted. So quick overview on the 3. We have hoses, metering valves, and ball valves. But like I said, we could have talked about a bunch of different things in this video. If you guys want to get that deal on the hose, check out the first link in the comment section description and use Forever15 at checkout to get 15% off of that hose that we mentioned. And check out the second link in the comment section and description to see all the other pieces of equipment that we talked about. But Mike, every guest that comes on the channel has picked the word of the day. So what would you like the word of the day to be?
The word of the day is the words of the day. Time is money.
Time is money. I thought you were going to go with hose for the word of the day, but
actually I'm going to change it up, Justin. The word of the day is hose, and that's with an SE.
Okay, the word of the day is hose with an ES, right?
SE.
SE. All right. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below hose and I'll hashtag you a real one. My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. Until next time, hustle hard and get that money, baby. Peace.